Have you ever wondered if the Philippines can become a rich country? Well, it's time to dive right into the heart of the matter. The Philippines, a country that has shown remarkable economic growth. In 2022, the archipelago's economy expanded at a rate of 7.6%, the fastest pace since 1976. Pause and ponder on that for a moment. This isn't just a sudden surge of prosperity. It's an impressive feat considering the global economic difficulties in recent years. Economists forecast that by 2033, the Philippines could reach a GDP of an astounding $1 trillion. That's trillion with a T, folks. But what does this mean for the average Filipino? The good news is the average annual GDP per person has also seen a significant rise. This means that the wealth isn't just concentrated in the hands of a few, but is being distributed more evenly across the population, leading to a general improvement in living standards. This growth is fueled by a variety of factors, from a strong rebound from the COVID-19 pandemic to expansion in the manufacturing sector, modest growth in merchandise exports, and a boom in the IT BPO sector. However, it's not all smooth sailing. There are concerns about inflation, a widening trade deficit due to increased imports, and a current account shifting from surplus to deficit. Despite these challenges, the overall economic picture remains positive. With such a robust economic expansion, the Philippines is certainly on the right track. Now, consider the driving factors behind this economic surge. The manufacturing sector, for one, has been showing expansionary conditions, making significant contributions to the overall economic growth. Its robust performance has been a reliable engine, pushing the economy forward. Next, let's talk about merchandise exports. They've recorded a moderate expansion, indicating that the Philippines is becoming increasingly competitive on the global stage. This growth in exports has been instrumental in generating revenue and creating jobs, playing a vital role in stimulating the economy. However, it's not all about exports. The shift in the current account is another crucial factor to consider. The move from surplus to deficit due to rapidly growing imports suggests a strengthening domestic demand. This demand is a positive sign of a healthy, growing economy. Now, onto the country's external debt, which remains moderate. A manageable level of external debt is beneficial as it allows the country to invest in areas that stimulate growth without being hampered by hefty interest payments. Lastly, let's not forget the significant role of overseas worker remittances and the IT BPO sector. The hard-earned money sent home by overseas Filipino workers has been a steady source of income for the country. Likewise, the IT BPO sector's growth has been remarkable, creating thousands of jobs and contributing significantly to the GDP. These factors combined have propelled the Philippines towards a prosperous future. Even in the face of adversity, the Philippines has shown resilience. The year 2020 was marked by a global pandemic that brought economies worldwide to a standstill, and the Philippines was no exception. But what makes a nation truly strong is not how it's shaken by a crisis, but how it bounces back. In this case, the Philippines didn't just bounce back, it soared. By 2021, the nation had rebounded from the economic downturn, posting robust growth that continued well into 2022. This impressive recovery was fueled by a combination of factors. The manufacturing sector expanded, merchandise exports saw moderate growth, and the IT BPO sector thrived. Even with the challenges posed by rising imports and inflation, the nation's economy showed an undeniable resilience. Overseas worker remittances also played a significant role in supporting the economy during these challenging times. Thus, the pandemic's impact, although significant, hasn't derailed the Philippines' economic progress. Before we proceed further, take a moment to hit the subscribe button. You wouldn't want to miss out on the wealth of enlightening content we're constantly unearthing, would you? It's just one click that'll keep you in the loop. Thank you for subscribing now. Back to our discussion. One cannot ignore the tourism sector when discussing the Philippines' economy. Indeed, the tourism industry is a vital pillar of the country's economic structure, contributing significantly to its gross domestic product. As we move forward into 2024, the easing of travel restrictions is expected to give the tourism sector a much-needed boost. As the world gradually recovers from the impacts of the pandemic, we see a renewed interest in travel and exploration. The Philippines, with its stunning landscapes, rich culture and warm hospitality, is bracing itself to welcome tourists back to its shores. The tourism sector's revival is not just about welcoming holidaymakers, it's also about reigniting the ancillary industries that rely heavily on tourism. From hospitality to transportation, from local businesses to food and beverage outlets, the ripple effects of a thriving tourism sector are far-reaching. Let's not forget the employment opportunities generated by the tourism industry. As the sector picks up pace, it's expected to create jobs, contributing to the overall economic health of the nation. Looking ahead to 2024, the outlook for the Philippines economy appears promising. With the continued easing of travel restrictions and the resurgence of the tourism sector, the country is well on its way to sustaining its economic expansion. The government's active efforts in improving infrastructure and promoting the Philippines as a top tourist destination are expected to further fuel this growth. The country's resilience in the face of adversity, coupled with its strategic initiatives for economic recovery, paints a picture of a nation on the rise. This resilience, coupled with the innate charm and beauty of the Philippines, bodes well for a robust and thriving tourism industry. The future certainly looks bright for the Philippines. The country is poised to leverage its natural and cultural assets, its strategic location, and its economic resilience to continue on its upward trajectory. Indeed, the Philippines' journey to becoming a rich nation is well underway. With all this information, the question arises, can the Philippines become a rich country? Let's dive into this, shall we? We've seen the economic growth of the Philippines rapidly accelerate, particularly in recent years. In fact, the country's economy grew at a rate of 7.6% in 2022, the fastest growth rate since 1976. That's no small feat, especially when you consider the global impact of the recent pandemic. But growth rate is just one piece of the puzzle. To become a rich country, a nation must also have strong supportive factors that can keep the economy thriving in the long run. For the Philippines, these include overseas worker remittances and a growing IT BPO sector. These sectors have shown resilience and have been key in supporting the economy, even amidst global challenges. Yet there are still hurdles to overcome. The widening trade deficit and the shift from a surplus to a deficit in the current account due to rising imports are concerns that need to be addressed. But it's not all gloom and doom. The Philippines has shown a remarkable ability to bounce back, as evidenced by the strong economic rebound following the pandemic. Looking ahead, the easing of travel restrictions could provide a significant boost to the economy, particularly in the tourism sector. This sector has the potential to attract a large influx of foreign currency, further supporting economic growth. Now, the million-dollar question, or should we say, the trillion-dollar question, can the Philippines become a rich country? Well, if the current growth trend continues, the Philippines is projected to reach a GDP of $1 trillion by 2033. That's a significant milestone that could put the Philippines on the map as a rich country, but as we all know, projections are just that. Projections. They're based on current trends and assumptions, and the actual outcome may be different. So while the future looks bright, it's not set in stone. The Philippines will need to continue its efforts in economic growth, address its challenges, and seize opportunities as they come. Only time will tell, but the signs are certainly promising. That concludes our exploration of the Philippines' economic journey. We've delved into its impressive growth, the factors bolstering this rise, and how the nation rebounded post-pandemic. We've speculated on the future, especially in tourism, and pondered over the big question: can the Philippines become a rich country? If you found this video informative and want to keep exploring such interesting topics, do subscribe for more amazing content. Keep wondering. Don't miss out on future explorations and discoveries. Hit subscribe and ring the bell to stay updated with our new content. Your journey of wonder continues with every video. Stay connected and engaged on social media. Continue the conversation, follow us. Thank you for being a part of the Have You Ever Wondered community. Keep wondering, keep discovering. Until next time.